let's stay in the United States and bring in our analyst, Michael Ware. That's not the main game today, Michael. The main game was the all-out assault from the Defence Secretary, Pete Hegseth, not only defending the American strikes in Iran, but also blasting some sections of the media for publishing a report that was leaked to them by members of the government. So what do you think of all of this?
Well, we don't know if it was leaked by members of the government or members of the Congress with security clearances, or whether it came out of the Defense Department itself, because this was a report from the intelligence agency within the Department of Defense. And while it was classified, it was marked as low assessment or low confidence. And in essence, it said we didn't do anywhere near as much damage as we thought we had. Now, President Trump is shooting the messenger, trying to downplay the Defense Intelligence Agency's preliminary, and I stress preliminary, assessment by attacking the media, saying, oh, you shouldn't have received this and you shouldn't have published it. And there's multiple organisations who were briefed on this document and did publish its findings. But this is a broader reflection of a broader problem, which your report earlier highlighted. At the end of the day, right now, as it stands, no one's got a real clue how much damage has been done. And I can run through the list of American intelligence agencies, the American military, and the Israeli intelligence agencies and defense force, and their assessments. And they're all one version of another of, we know we made an impact, we just haven't got a clue how much. And in fact, the Israeli defense minister recently just now issued a statement saying, we believe we didn't hit the enriched uranium.
Yeah.
And we want the Iranians to hand that over.
So let's break this up into a couple of parts here, Michael. You and I, we're journalists. And, you know, in CNN's defence, I mean, you're going to go with it. If you get leaked a report that's been classified to an extent, you're going to go with it, right? And it's not really questioning the patriotism because, I mean, most people are saying this was an absolute success. There's just a question mark over the word obliteration. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, have the issues been conflated by the president?
Yeah, absolutely. This is being used as part of a smokescreen and is classic tactics from this particular White House. But look, the person who's in real hot water is whoever leaked it or briefed, or briefed the journalist on it. Now, we've seen two examples in the recent past of military leakers, and they were sent to federal prison for 10 years plus under the Espionage Act. Now, the question is, if it's leaked to you and you then report upon it, are you covered by the Espionage Act? And there's many arguments that have not ever been tested by the Supreme Court about that. But in essence, right now, the US government has announced that it's launching a very full-throated investigation to find the leaker, but they haven't said they're going to target the journalists, but they are going to subpoena them. But this is the work of journalism. Unlike something like WikiLeaks, if you get a document like this, you can report on its effect, but you don't report on how it was done and its methodologies, and there's certain things that would jeopardize the country that you just don't.
I mean, look, I'd said earlier this week, and look, I'm no expert, I'm just a layman, but I look at the satellite images and I just would have thought that the ground would have caved in. But now I'm looking at that vision that's been released this morning from the Pentagon that shows, here it is here, the absolute power of these bunker busters. I'm sure you've seen it too, Michael. I mean, from that, you can get a pretty good idea of what would have happened underground.
Oh, mate, it would have been a nightmare underground. The question is how underground.
Yeah.
Because did it reach the actual depth? Now, what we tried to do, based on intelligence gathered over 15 years from when this site was first constructed, where some trucks and digging was first seen a decade and a half ago, for what we believe were ventilation shafts. while they were building this facility. And then once they built it, they filled in the ventilation shafts. But that would suggest that there's a weakness in the ground there. And so it's believed that that's what the US military targeted, these ventilation shafts. The problem is just how deep are these centrifuges and just how deep can these GBU-57 bunker busters make an impact?
Yeah.
They're all unanswered questions. But one thing that is for sure, as you say, Pete, this is an incredibly awesome weapon.
Oh man, just to hit such a such a target, by flying so many hours and then just moving these bombs into a ventilation shaft in absolutely incredible work. Yeah, but I just think, given all the experts that we've spoken to this week, the wiping out of scientists, of Iranian experts, and I just think it's going to be years before they can get things back on track. But that's where I'm at this morning anyway, Michael. Good to see you as always.